is why you won't get rid of them in the first place, because you come off of a commercial break, there's a kickoff, and then sometimes you can go to a commercial break. Or at least you can slide another one in there.
Right.
With that fucking side thing that they do now all of a sudden. Now there's commercials inside of the program.
Right.
I hate being born on the green timeline.
What?
The green timeline. There's probably multiple timelines and different universes and shit. Yeah, well, I was born on the green one, and this one sucks.
Which one do you want to go to?
Any one other than this, just to see if it can possibly be better.
All right, spaghetti timeline.
Yeah. Can't be much worse.
Unless you're made the meatball in the timeline.
I guess. Yeah, sure.
All right. Anyways. Yeah, so big fan of what the XFL is doing. I want to see... I'm in a couple of groups on Facebook, and in one of them, literally every fucking post is, so if they expand, where should they expand? What should the... just make one post about this. Should they expand next season? No. They should take what they've got and do it better. They should build on what they have build up before you build out. Build a strong foundation before you spread yourself thin. That's what they should do. Would it be nice for them to have 12, 16, 24 teams in the XFL? Yeah, would be great. It would. But
not yet.
Which would you rather have? 8 really good teams or 16 okay teams with an alright product? You'd rather have the 8 really good.
I mean, really get it established before, like you say, it's in its infancy, so you don't want to, let it peak too early.
Right. No premature ejaculation for this league, please. Come on.
Right. Gross.
All right. So I said we were going to talk about the NBA trade deadline reactions, but I mean, really, was anyone surprised at anything? No.
No.
Andre Drummond to the Cavs was kind of surprising, I guess.
Oh, see, that's why I didn't fucking know. Because, again, I'm not fucking paying attention, so I wouldn't have known that. So, technically, I was right as far as my way of thinking.
Well, at this point, I might as well just go with, Antonio McDyess, I don't watch basketball.
I don't even know who the fuck that is.
Dan O'Shea, how long has it been since Antonio McDyess has been in the league?
30 years.
Quite a while.
I mean...
Look up on your phone. Wait.
Yeah, I'm going to look up Antonio McDyess real quick.
Oh, wait.
I mean, if you're going to say some shit like that, I might as well just say fucking Isaiah Thomas. Because at least I had a chance of his son being on the team.
Ben Roethlisberger, Ben Wallace, Rasheed Wallace, Rip Hamilton, Tayshaun Prince,
I know that
Chauncey
Rip Hamilton
Billups
was on there, and I know he's not playing anymore. Rip Hamilton was a UConn alum. I'm very aware of his career.
Chauncey Billups.
Ben Roethlisberger probably should go to the next. He can't do much worse.
Yeah, they can. They can be accused of rape.
Who?
So, Ben Roethlisberger. Playing career?
I don't understand that.
He said he should go to the Knicks. They can't be much worse.
Well, I mean, yeah, but I mean...
And then I said...
Would rape be much worse for them?
Well, I mean, Isaiah Thomas was accused of sexual assault. But,
Well, I mean, yeah, there's that. I mean, that's not great.
Antonio McDyess, drafted in 1995, played from 95 to 2011. That's a solid career. 16 years. Yeah. He was an all-star one time.
Good for him.
In his 16 years. One time.
Good for him. I'm happy for him.
And he has a gold medal in the 2000 Olympics. All right.
He was... What?
Yeah, he was on the Olympic team.
No, he was on the bench.
Probably.
Yeah, you pull up his Olympic statistics. If it doesn't start with 0 point something, I'd fall over.
Let's see.
Could have been worse.
How could it have been worse?
No, he could have never played basketball and been a lifelong NASCAR fan.
So,
oh my God!
Considering the fact that you guys weren't fucking blowing the group text up, I'm assuming and nobody yell at me, Dan O'Shea. The Knicks didn't do shit.
They did what they should have,
which was expected. They got a decent haul back, and Mo Harkless, who probably won't be with the team next year.
Oh well, in typical Knicks fashion, I guess.
So what the Knicks were expected, to do at the trade deadline were either one of two things, or one of three things. One, do nothing. Two, find some really fucking crazy way to get some crazy shit to happen, which we didn't think was going to happen. Or two, get rid of Marcus Morris and bring in draft picks, which they did.
They're not allowed.
Well, at least they accomplished one of those things.
Yeah.
So I guess it could have been worse.
Let's see. The season that Antonio McDyess went to the Olympics. Let me see. Oh, well, hold on. While I'm looking for his Olympic stats, he averaged 20.8 points, 12 rebounds, and 2 assists that season. Oh, here we go. Antonio McDyess Olympics. All right, he finished with 7 assists, 4 steals, 3 blocks.
You mean, is this for the whole fucking Olympics?
He averaged 8 points per game in the Olympics.
Okay.
A little bit better than you thought.
Yeah, I guess.
Anyways.
Probably scoring fucking 32 against fucking Montenegro or something.
Fucking Montenegro. All right, guys.
Giving the other guys a fucking rest.
All right. So I feel like we've talked about everything that we need to talk about. Unless you guys have anything more.
No, I ranted about my anger with LeBron. But what else is fucking new?
Little bum, little bitch, whatever you want to call him. Anyways. So, this week in sports history. This one that I do have this week.
I do appreciate the NBA at least naming the award after Kobe Bryant in the All-Star game, considering. I'll add that to the conversation. We didn't touch on that, but I like it. It's a nice, it may not make the most sense just because he wasn't like an overall MVP a lot, but he was certainly in a lot of All-Star games. It happened. This was a way to recognize him, which they certainly needed to, and it is a nice... it's a nice tribute to him to continue his memory for years to come.
That's very true. This week in sports history isn't going to be like how I usually do it, where it's going to be the last thing and we just do a This one's actually, I think, going to spark a little bit of a discussion. 2
days ago, Randy Newman almost died.
Ryan
Newman.
Crazy, but no, we're not going to talk about that.
Yeah, not so exciting Daytona 500 this year.
No, but how fucked up is it? On the last, like that to me, like I don't, I don't give a shit about racing. The only one here that gives a shit about racing is BB. But that being said, how crazy is it that literally dude is leading on the last turn and then crashes, yet somehow goes across the line to finish 9th?
I don't know, and then almost dies.
Yeah, but he died by still finishing in the top 10. There were other people that finished after him that were still actually driving.
Yeah, Dale Sr. got 12th. He crashed.
Oh yeah, but he did die.
So he didn't get in the top 10.
Nope. Anyways, on February 17th, 1989, Oral Hershiser, Dodger pitcher, signs record $7.9 million 3-year contract. That was a fucking record.
What was it?
$7.9 million over 3 years.
Who was it again?
Oral Hershiser in 1989.
Well, I'll be damned.
Imagine that. Who would have thought that just fucking 20, 30 years later, who would have thought 30 years later
Garrett Cole be making bank?
There'd be a $350 million contract. And his $7.9 million would be fucking nothing.
seeing that like players like what Mickey Mantle used to make like $47,000 a year back. I mean,
I'm pretty sure Babe Ruth only made like $100 a day.
Yeah, well, I mean,
that doesn't fucking matter. You know how much money he was eating hot dogs?
Oh yeah.
I mean, you get free shit. You don't need. Who needs money outside of work?
Right.
You get fed at your job. Who the hell needs money?
Yeah, well, I don't get fed at my job, so I need money.
Yeah, I mean, I do get fed at my job, but I still need money.
No, I'm saying sports.
Yeah, what do you need a roof over your head
for? Free Gatorade, free peanuts, free popcorn, cotton candy.
Mind you, that most people like back then too, like not like most people that were doing baseball like had another job.
Yeah,
like they were actually something else. Like some of them were fucking went to war.
Yeah. Like
all the NFL guys that formed a filler team with the Eagles and the Steelers.
Yep. Anyways.
But that is crazy because to see where it's come from. Because I mean, look at fucking Bryce Harper's deal. It's obnoxious.
Yeah.
Obnoxious. They paid him all that money to win without him.
Yeah.
That's the best part to the Nationals winning the World Series, in my opinion, is the fact that they had all that money that they weren't willing to spend, or Bryce Harper didn't take, and then they were like, "Oh, all that you did for DC should have stayed, bro."
Well, I mean, sometimes there's...
Although it allowed them for other players,
yeah,
Anthony Rendon, you know, so it's not like it would have 100% been the same shit anyway. So I can't really say that.
Right. Anyways, guys, this has been a fun night. I apologize for the way we started the episode. For those of you who joined late, I played the absolute worst rendition of the national anthem I have ever heard. But this is going to be it. Make sure you check us out on Twitter at DanDanTony. On Facebook, we are DanDanTony Sports. You can send us an email. We are DanDanTonySports@gmail.com. If you want to send us an email, please do. If you don't want to, which I'm sure is the norm for most people,
who uses email,
then
it's a nice spam account.
Yeah. Then you just keep doing what you're doing as long as you're listening to DanDanTony Sports. So for Dan,
for porn.
Yeah, for Dan, Tony, Dan, have a good night.